Remember, this is for 5 laps and no time limit. Get ready.
Good luck.
Set.
Yep.
And no time limit.
That's the voice of Luigi. Good luck.
Go.
False start.
Go.
False start.
Oh, we have a false start for Kelsar, but the race is starting anyway. Start of main event number 2 with Keith taking another clear lead over Connor. But Connor having the faster ship is likely to catch up. We'll check the onboard. Connor already getting past, overtaking before lower crisscross. We have a DNF. It sounds like somebody crashed. I'm not sure what happened. Flip it behind Connor and Keith and battling for second place with Keith right now. Taking the inside line in private parking to get past Keith. And trying to keep things straight to catch up to Connor. Connor with better TVI control, keeping things together. And he's heading around to the radio tower right now, going down the VIP corner, making that hard right to the Kovalek Straight and heading toward the gap between these buildings. This is a great place to unload. Watch the TVI management here on Connor's stream. You want to keep that TVI, that little butterfly-shaped thing, as close to the crosshairs as you can. Making the final right for the end of lap number 1. Luigi getting us our view here. Connor with a very clear lead. Flip it up in second place once again. Just has to tighten things up in order to keep that speed at a good level. Keith coming in third, followed by Sika, and then Kelsar in the back. Bringing up Kelsar's cam for the rear camera here, about 600
Sika
meters behind.
DNF.
Sika has some work to do, but with the Razor should be possible. Looks like Sika has hit on the start-finish line and is out. Leaving 4 racers left for main event number 2. Back to Connor's camera. Coming up through... looks like upper crisscross and heading over to radio tower now. Very far advantage over the other racers right now. Similar to main event number 2, Flip It Dip in second place here. Going through upper crisscross, you can see that there's at least a 3 to 4 second gap between the two of them. Going through radio tower now. Doesn't even really have a view of Connor Risnick. Connor being so far ahead. Going through the Kovalek Straight now, making a left before North Star, heading back to the start finish. Finishing up lap number 2. Again, you can see Connor here finishing up lap 2. That really fast pass through the start-finish flip-a-dip. Coming around North Star now to bring up second place, and Keith with an equally large gap behind. It looks like a clear path to victory for Connor, as long as he's able to hold it together for the remainder of the final 3 laps. Connor now coming around to private parking. Taking this nice turn here, you got to stay below the top of that gap and above the bottom. Does it perfectly. Bringing on a little bit of G-forces, but manages it to keep it intact. Coming over to upper crisscross, making that left over to radio tower now. Still fighting the G's, but is able to handle it gracefully. Heading over to VIP corner now. Switching over the Shack News cam to get an overview of what's going on. We've got Connor going through the Kovalek Straight now. Is going to head through the building over into the streets there, and then making a left into North Star. And we've got Kyle with the view over here at the landing pad with the beautiful 350R on the shot, launching Shack New, and we've got racers coming over through what looks to be upper crisscross, heading over to radio tower.
Yeah, that's DNF.
Connor's cam. Connor first place on lap number 4, going through Wytech, and he hits, and he's out. Connor is out, striking Wytech, the great filter,
DNF.
leaving Flippadip now in first place, coming through the XGR Club building. Just has to hold it together. Going down through lower crisscross now, coming around the private parking. Again, needs to work on the TVI control, but consistency is key here. You got to keep it together. The main events are an endurance race, 5 laps, not 2. You can see it's now paying off for Flippadip, who's able to keep a more consistent path to victory. Still has to hold it together. It's not over yet. We have Kelsar in second place now, switching to Kelsar's cam with the Razor, going down through lower crisscross, a good 10 seconds behind Flippadip, but has to hold it together just like Flippadip in order to finish the race. Kelsar taking private parking. Ooh, getting a little bit low there, but manages to pull up in time. The Razor not quite as fast and not as aerodynamic as the P52 right now, but still a great ship for more beginner racers, as it does have better control during yaws. We have Flippadip now going into the final lap, picking up some G's, going to the XGR Club building. Going up to Wytech, the great filter here, making the left, pulls it off, coming down through lower crisscross, heading over to private parking. A lot of G's can be piled up here, so it's important to keep that in check. Big, huge 180 turn. You can see the screen start to black out. A lot of ways to manage that. Coming over to upper crisscross, making the right gracefully, heading over to radio tower. Final stretch here. We're on the back half of the final lap, going over the VIP corner. Flippadip still in the lead, looking at Kelsar's cam now. Kelsar not terribly far behind, but about a half a lap. So all things considered, I think at the end of the race here, it's probably going to be too much to overcome. Still great to be able to finish And now Flipidip coming through the final straight here. Luigi's giving us our final camp. Flipidip coming through the start finish, just has to hold it together, coming in fast. Passes through gracefully for the end of main event number 2. Flipidip, our winner with first place. Kelsar still on the track and looks like gonna be able to finish just fine. Going through Radio Tower right now. Coming over to VIP Corner, the Razor, previous world record holder for this track. P52 has since taken that spot, but the Razor certainly still a contender, as you can see. Coming in here with a second place finish for Kelsar. Just has to hold it together for another 10 seconds here, heading toward the final straight, making the left at North Star. Heading to the start finish. About 3 seconds left here.
Winner
and
of main
passes
event
through
number 2.
skillfully. Well done,
Flipidip.
Kelsar.
Second
Well
place,
done,
Nice.
Kelsar.